Hello and welcome to the 18th episode of the Slow Ride Podcast. My name is Tim Hayes and I'm in Gainesville, Florida. You can find me on Twitter at the Super Rookie, joined by the little guy Matt Allen at Little Guy Matt, who's in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Spencer Howe at Spencer Howe, Haugh, in Boston, Massachusetts. Gentlemen, 18 weeks of this, but we finally got to the goodness of the Tour de France, going through the mountains and all types of things since the last episode. We had 5 boring stages. Well, 4 boring stages, then cobbles, and then a bunch of carnage and lots of exciting things. What's the top thing you want to talk about, little guy?
Oh man, I mean obviously Contador being out.
No,
pretty
you're
big
not gonna
thing.
You're not gonna go with all the French cyclists tearing it up.
I that's obviously big, but the Contador being out. I mean, how often is there a tour where the 1 and 2 favorites are gone, and then? But I still think Nibali would be crushing him. He's just that good right now.
Wait,
so.
1 and 2 favorites gone?
Remember Froome? Remember Chris Froome?
Have you forgotten about Valverde?
Valverde was never the number 1 or the number 2, in the pecking order ever in anyone's mind for this tour.
So Contador
unless they were crazy. Because Valverde always has a bad day. Every tour he's ever done. I mean, what does he finish? Second in the Volta? That's as much as he's ever done, right?
Yeah. So
second.
So Contador's out. That was the big news. Of course, how he disappeared. Everyone's talked about the cracked bike, or maybe not a cracked bike. The one thing I do want to point out is that it's pretty much been proven that it was the Belkin team car and they got tangled on the rack. But it did take a while for Belkin to show the picture of the bike on their windshield, all.
Why was there even a picture though? This is what's amazing about technology these days. The rumor just spreads around the world immediately, and then there's actually a picture that exists of the bike. It blows my mind. Both sides of that story. It's crazy.
I can't believe how fast that story spread. I mean, I know a lot of it had to do with the reporting on
mostly had to do with you and your Facebook page and your Twitter blowing it up. I think it was pretty much to blame.
Single-handedly. Well, I was just saying, I was going off of what Phil Liggett had said,
Oh,
and
that's
I did see.
He is a reliable source of information. Yeah. He is pretty much the gold standard. Yeah.
I did see that they apologized. NBC Sports did apologize to Specialized for not reporting the facts, but as I believe it was Cyclism pointed out, why didn't they apologize for the 8 years of believing Lance Armstrong?
He said he couldn't run from me. I said I couldn't hold him back. He said he really cares for me, but I love him more than that. Confusion, but I don't mind. I never felt so good.
Spencer, what is the biggest takeaway for you from the Tour de France so far?
The biggest takeaway for me is that cycling's dangerous, man. Cobbles and broken legs and broken kneecaps and all kinds of injuries and carnage and people, Talansky looking the wrong way. Man, there's a lot of stuff out there for people to deal with in the Tour. You could run into any Garmin rider at any time, apparently.
So
it's true.
I'm surprised, Spencer, that you didn't even choose the fact that there are 4 French guys in the top 10. Pierre Roland in 10th place, Perrault AG2R in 6th, Pinot of FDJ in 4th, and then of course Romain Bardet in 3rd place of AG2R.
Yeah. I've been a long time supporter of the French cycling. I don't need to toot that horn every time, but Italian cycling's dead, Belgian cycling's dead, Spanish cycling never really was. French cycling, it's the new thing.
Well, I am
Italian's
impressed.
dead, huh? Yeah.
I know,
Oh
right?
yeah, oh yeah.
I have been liking the tour because I liked the Tony Martin show for those 2 days
Yeah,
when he was
that was
two,
good.
and I liked how Kwiatkowski went out on the attack. Like it was actually trying things. Like that may be my favorite part about this tour is that it's not as formulaic as some of the other tours that we've seen where no one's like everyone's waiting to attack. Where this time we're actually seeing people roll the dice, and it may not work, but
Yeah.
something is happening. And
Yeah.
the big one there was Kwiatkowski and Tony Martin going off the attack early, and now we've seen Nibali just throwing down. Great Tour de France. Of course, this takes us to our Velogames Fantasy Cycling League. We have quite the race at the top. Separated by only 30 points is Dots Boys and then the quick release of Paul Messel. They are both tearing it up. Sadly, Spencer Howe is in 6th place with Fignon
That is
Aerodynamics. Little guy, you are in 8th place with
Yes.
Kobo Rules, and I have slipped to 12th place. But I will say
Oh,
that
that's weird, Tim.
the three of us have been doing really well because we followed the don't pick Froome
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
Contador.
that was the one rule to the game. I did pick Contador though. So I'd like to point out that, with Contador gone, I'm still kicking you guys' butts.
Well, I
Well,
have.
I picked the Falou brothers, so I mean, right there, that's
I know. I was looking at that and I was like, man, if little guy would have, made any other choice, he'd be totally winning right now.
I
But
Fingers
I
crossed.
relied on your love of French sprinters or, non-love of any other sprinters. That
Yeah, I just hate sprinters, so I just have
Yeah.
to pick the least likely sprinter to make me feel because they're actually not a sprinter. It's the
I know.
only
Yeah.
way.
I am interested to see in the long run how much it comes down to the final placing points, right? Because right now, like for instance, some of these teams have both Peter Sagan and Kittel, or
Mhm.
Peter
Yep.
Sagan and some other sprinter, but they're not going to place very high in the overall. Whereas if you have a bunch of top 10 riders, you're going to start cashing in. But
Yeah.
it looks like if you win a stage, I mean, you're up there pretty high. Like that's like the equivalent of getting 10th place, I think, for the overall. So
Yeah.
it's definitely weighted towards the sprinters a little bit, but we're getting there. I am pretty excited with how it's going. Thanks for everyone that has been playing. But yeah, you can follow along at the Slow Ride Podcast Super League. So, gentlemen, with the Tour de France entering its last rest day today, we have some big stages coming up, but namely the big question is we have that individual time trial. Will TJ Van Garderen find himself on the podium at this year's Tour de France?
He might.
He's
I
only
think.
in,
I think it's pretty likely.
he's
I
a
don't know.
minute- he's a
It's
minute
going to
10
be
out.
tough. He's a minute 10 out, but Valverde's become a better and better time trialer through the years. Pinot's getting better. I think your AG2R love child Bardet is gonna lose a lot of time in the time trial. He's gonna
Well-
lose a lot of time. But Pernard too is only like a minute
He's
behind Van
good.
Garderen,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's really good time trialist, and he's obviously got really good legs right now. So I think we could see an old French man on the podium. That's my hope.
I'm very excited for for what we've got going on with the tour. It's definitely going to be a lot of fun. Do you have any ideas on Van Garderen, Spencer?
No, I mean he looks pretty good. I mean, he spent a lot of time working for Cadell, so I figure he knows, how to get through a Grand Tour, and yeah, he'll put up a good time trial. He just needs to not crack and have a bad day in any of these Pyrenees stages, but yeah, I don't see that happening. But I don't know. I think the fight amongst the French is gonna damage him more than it damages them. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
they're
think
they're
you're
gonna
right.
be fighting each other, and he's not gonna know who to follow, and he's gonna have to kind of follow everything.
How are the French
it-
going to fight each other? Aren't they both just going to quit before it starts?
Oh, I don't know if you know, but the French have a
Ew.
long history of like really being really aggressive and attacking a lot and just really dominating
Everything.
throughout
Life.
history. Yeah.
Throughout
So
history.
it is amazing that a French team is currently leading the team classification. Everyone's favorite
Yeah.
AG2R team, the Brown Squad, has a 12-minute lead over at Belkin, and 40 minutes on Team Sky. So AG2R might take the final podium in Paris, and that would
I
be
hope
very
not.
Oh, I
that would
think
be
they
very
will.
impressive. Now, is the entire
you're-
AG2R team French?
No.
No.
Well, so there you go.
They're not all
But you touched upon one of my tactics for the Velogames, which has not been panning out for me. Was I was sure that the Belkin team would be winning
I do
which
remember
would
you
gain
being
me
very
points
sure.
every single day because I have 3 of them on my team. But I have faith they'll come through in the end.
Just think if
I agree.
AG2R had Betancourt there too. I mean, they would actually have a pretty legit team. All the way
Yeah.
Plus
through and through.
Vivo, they'd have 5 guys, 6 guys in the top 10
Wow.
just themselves.
If
So-
they had Betancourt and Posavito, they wouldn't be because they'd have nobody to work for the leaders.
It's true. But
They'd be a disaster. As it is now, they're working really well together. They're putting in attacks on the descents. Like that was amazing the other day, trying to put Pinot on the ropes, before the last climb.
yeah.
It's exciting.
You know what else is impressive about this tour is that Cofidis is not the worst French team.
Yeah, it's at
That's-
Bretonnet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They're second worst, and they've got to be really
I don't
stoked
know.
about that.
I think Confidus is still the worst team because technically they should be much better than the Breton Shaw Environmental, whatever. They should be better. I'm sure their budget is still like 9 times as much as that team. It's kind of
All right.
pathetic that Confidus can't do anything.
so we're
Well, they've been in some moves. They had the King of the Mountains jersey for a day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that guy was.
they're
that
Frenching
guy,
it up.
That guy rode. He rode really well over the cobbles, put in like a top 10, which was really impressive. But then, other than that, what have they done?
all right,
Well,
gentlemen.
nothing.
So
They got their TV time. They're done.
so with the tour
They're done.
with the tour wrapping up this week, let's do a quick rapid fire question. I'll ask the questions. You tell me the answer. Will Cheng Ji be the first Chinese rider to ever finish the Tour de France, and as a result, also take the Lantern Rouge?
No,
You don't think
I
he'll
think he'll.
finish?
I think. No, I just think he's gonna get pulled in this last week. It's a brutal last week, man.
Yeah. What do you think, Spencer? Was he going to finish?
It is tough last week. I got a little faith though. I think he might pull through. I think
right,
he
well-
can do it.
We'll see. I'm hoping. I have the feeling that the UCI and ACO have an agreement that he's going to get to continue on. They seem a little bit more lenient this year, the tour, extending time cuts and whatnot.
That's true. As long as he gets into the ambulance for a couple minutes, they'll let him go, like Mercado, whatever his name is.
Next question is, who is going to win on the Champs-Élysées?
Bryce Flew, or is it Romain Flew? Whichever one is the sprinter.
Really? Who do you think's
That's the
going to...
worst thing I've ever heard. My brain says Kittle will win.
Yeah.
My heart of hearts says Andre Demar will win in the French national champions jersey on the Champs-Élysées.
Oh, wow.
He's got dysentery.
Beautiful.
Right now. It's not gonna
What
be
about-
good.
Doesn't matter. He can
I-
power through.
You don't think the Norwegian Christoph is going to make a third,
Yeah,
take a
he is
third
coming
win?
good, huh?
Will Peter Sagan win a stage at this year's Tour de France?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
All right.
Yeah.
Uh,
Did
he's
you guys
gonna
see
be-
that great interview he gave the other day, though? And I don't know, like 2-3 days ago, one of the NBC sports guys interviewed him after the stage and was like, "What is it going to take for you to win a stage?" And he's like, who cares? A second is great. A lot of people would like second. What do you mean problem? And the guy's like, well, seriously, it seems like it's hard to get second all the time. And he's like, everyone would love to get second.
Nice.
He was obviously really pissed about the questions. It was
Yeah.
hilarious.
I think he just doesn't have the power of the green goatee this year.
Oh God! Thank
And-
God. Did you guys see that? Wait, on another Sagan point. I just kind of bring this up. Did you see the shirt, the Sagan shirt, the blue shirt with his face made out of flowers? That the Cannondale, like their whoever is their sponsor, like for casual clothes, has this Sagan shirt. It's like $95. It's a polo shirt. It's like baby blue, and it's got Sagan's face made out of flowers, and it's amazing.
how long did the shipping take for it to get to you?
I don't have it. It's $95. But if every one of our listeners donated 50 cents, I could have the shirt.
I will put out a Kickstarter for you.
Yeah, we'll get that Kickstarter up there for you. So, and final question, gentlemen, and then we will move on. Will my man Haimar Zubeldia crack the top 10? He is only 1 minute and 12 seconds out.
Even if he does, would anybody know?
All right, and with that, we'll be back.
Yeah.
We'll be back with the some best and worst of the week in cycling.
Ooh, and I can handle that. You are so dangerous. You blow my mind, and I know I am in trouble. You are so dangerous. You blow my mind. I never thought it'd be so good. My friends say
It's Monday, July 21st. We're back with the best and worst of the week in cycling. I want to immediately start this off, and I'm sorry, Spencer, I'm going to totally steal your thunder, but the best thing of the week was the vine that you put up on Twitter of the Frenchman getting off his bike as he's climbing up the side of the mountain and walks into a fan's camper, presumably to go to the bathroom.
Oh, not presumably. It is documented.
I believe it's been confirmed.
He had some explosive issues.
So how would you...
And in this beautiful, beautiful age of technology, we have it on video.
I mean, like, you think about, like, the process of this. Like, I mean, usually when you go camping with a camper with a bunch of people, you kind of have a rule, like, right? Like, no one takes a dump in the RV or, like, on the bus. And then all of a sudden a pro bike racer comes by, oh, man, I just got to use your bathroom.
Oh, I don't think he asked. I think he just went in. It's like, don't slow me down or it's going to be elsewhere in your camper that you're not going to be happy about.
I heard he asked very politely. That's
I'm
what
sure
I heard.
he did.
Very,
The French are
gentle.
very polite. One thing that's historically been proven is that the French are very polite people, and they tend to be very friendly and outgoing.
Yes, that's right. Now, who was it? Who was the
This was
guy?
Andre Demar, the
Demar.
French national champion, top
but
sprinter in the game right now.
But it didn't look like he was getting into a French-colored RV. It looked like it had a bunch of like Dutch flags around it. So like reverse 10 damage.
So there's some leaves some unresolved questions then about how he left the state of their restroom.
So little guy, what's your best of the week?
My best of the week is the bargain that the Schlecks are going to be at the end of the season. They're going to get on some cut rate French team for like $20 and form a super team out of washed up riders. It's gonna be beautiful.
Is it going to be called?
I'm looking for it.
Is it going to be called Trek Factory Cycling?
No, I'm hoping that the Schlecks end up on like some like weird second division team that we've never heard of, like the worst second division team that doesn't even try to like get involved in stuff is going to be like, this is our way to do it. And they're going to get the Schlecks. They're going to get some other washed up riders. Like I'm hoping Kobo. They'll get Kobo. And then just some other guys who've never fulfilled their potential. And they'll form a super team of washed up old doping has-beens. And poor Andy maybe will start training.
All right, I like this. We're going to have to visit this one, I think, a little bit later.
Yeah. Do you think if Andy got the offer and Frank didn't, do you think Andy would go?
No, I don't think so. They think they're joined at the hip.
They have to go everywhere together. I mean, right now Frank doesn't know what to do, even though he's in 14th place at the tour. He's just like, he's just sad about that. He's like, I'm 14 and a half minutes down. He doesn't know what to do.
He probably has to call Andy mid-stage every time.
So
Ask him what to do.
Do you have a best of the week, Spencer?
I have a couple. So speaking of calling mid-race, calling Andy mid-race, did you guys see the Luca Paolini shooting photos and tweeting and stuff from his phone in the bike race in the Tour de France?
But I'm not surprised. That's awesome.
So there's a photo of him, I think, floating around of him just looking at his phone while he's riding in the tour.
Yeah, with his
And
beard, the Katusha.
right.
Yeah.
And then, but the best thing that happened was Filippo Pozzato retweeted it. He photoshopped the photo, so he had Luca, the shot of Luca on one side of the screen, and then split screen on the other side. He had a close up of an iPhone, and he had photoshopped a photo of him like shirtless on it, as if Luca Paolini was looking at Filippo Pozzato, scantily clad on his phone during the tour.
Oh,
It was
man.
amazing. It was a pretty sick burn. And if you
pretty
guys
good.
don't follow both Luca Paolini and Filippo Pozzato on Twitter, you really should, because they're buddies and they jab each other all the time, and it's pretty entertaining.
So we'll get that picture up on the website today. That's pretty good. I know you have another one. Gentlemen, I can't believe I forgot to mention this. That my best of the week is that I no longer have to drive the Nissan Versa around.
Yeah. How's that clutch? Does it smell weird yet?
So I got
Smoking.
this new Mini Cooper S, right? And through the new job, and because of that, it's a I had to learn how to drive. Well, I didn't. I had to learn how to drive the stick all over again, and I called you guys up on Bluetooth, both of you.
Yep,
Little
that
guy was
sounded terrible.
little guy was just disappointed I was on Bluetooth. Spencer was at least willing to work with it, and both of you asked within 30 seconds of if the clutch was smelling yet. Like, so
And you kind of avoided the question.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
so the clutch is not smelling yet. I have yet to stall the car, but that may have to do with Florida being so flat that the overpass is the only hills
That's
that I
true.
get. So,
You can't run into a hill.
and we'll be right back with the one good question for the week of cycling, brought to you by the little guy.
Well, I can disagree. The streets say he's too wild and free. He's no more wild than me. I know what he's been through, and I don't hold him back. He knows that I've been through, and that opposites attract. You are so
All right, we're back. Little guy. Earlier, you talked about washed-up racers when you talked about Andy Schleck and his new contract and where he was going to go. So you had a question that you brought to both Spencer and myself over email for this week. So what is it?
Well, I'd like the Schlecks to be on this washed up team, and I'd like Kobo to be on the team. But other than that, I haven't been able to put the whole team together. I was wondering if you guys could maybe help me out, bring me some ideas so I could start
Yes.
pitching them $10 contracts.
Well, there's a couple of things that I need to know before. I've got a couple of riders in mind, but I want to
Okay.
make sure that I understand the caveat. Do you have a sponsor yet for this team?
Yeah, we got number 2 pencils.
Number
two
so like
pencils.
okay, so number 2 pencils.
Yep.
So is it a yellow kit with black stripes, kind of like a Sunyar Duval type kit? Is it a Spanish-based
Does
team?
the
I need to
color
know.
The color matters? Is there a
It
rider you're
does.
not going to take? 'Cause on skin tone, on complexion, on
Yes.
like whether or not they're an earth tone. I was thinking it would be maybe like a greenish kit, green and yellow, and then maybe some pencils sticking out of the back pockets.
Okay, so I would instantly on this team have to add Zubeldia.
Yeah.
I think that Zubeldia would bring a lot to Andy Schleck. I think that those two combined with Frank Schleck would make a good
Would-
team. I don't know if Kobo would be able to hang.
Form exactly the same team that they are now currently.
Yeah, well, you need to have them. But
Consistency.
the other one that I do want to add to this team is definitely going to be Christopher Horner.
Yeah.
I think
Obviously,
Horner-
because he's going to be out of a contract.
Horner needs to be on this team as well. So
Yeah.
right there we've got a quality team of 5
Well,
guys that
you know
could
what you
probably
need.
get for $1,000.
You
That's
need-
4.
you need
That's
a-
4. We
you
got to
need a
wait.
Grand
We got to
Tour
count. We got to count. That's 4.
No, you've got both Schlecks.
Oh yeah, we got Kobo.
Zubeldia.
God, everyone
Yep.
forgets about Kobo, even me.
All right, so Spencer, what were you saying?
You need a Grand Tour contender. You need the guy who's going to be the team leader. You need
Okay.
a winner. You need a proven winner who has
Yep.
won the Tour de France before.
Yep.
You need Oscar Pereiro.
Ooh, Oscar
Ooh,
Pereiro.
out of retirement. I don't think we can get a guy out of retirement. We can only
don't
get
think so?
people that are on the doorstep of retirement.
I don't
And
know. I
anyway-
think he'd come back. I don't think he was
I
happy
think-
the way he left.
I think Pereira, wasn't he gonna try his hand at being a goalie?
Maybe.
I believe
Okay.
that was
Well,
the
then, as a
story.
backup for Pereira, if he's unavailable, maybe Ivan Basso.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
Ooh,
good.
Basso
He
would be
could-
really good.
Basso would be good. I
So
was
this is
thinking. I was also thinking Nocentini, because he has been nothing to me but a disappointment his entire career.
So if you're going that route, no Centini. I mean, I think that you need to bring a little South American flavor to this team.
Oh yeah.
Very important. You need a mountain goat. You need a guy that has stood on the podium at a very tough Grand Tour stage. A guy that really knows how to dig down deep. And of course, none other than Jose Rujano,
Mhm.
who once scored a second place in the Giro, and brought fame and fortune to himself for about a year before he mysteriously disappeared and was
Yeah.
never around for the doping controls.
Well, yeah, he'll be good because he'll disappear mid-race and no one will know where he goes, and everybody will be paying attention to watching Andy drop out like he does every race. So it'll be two different ways to abandon every single race. Then that will be something the team really needs, I think.
I kind of like this team going up.
We need a
It's-
terrible sprinter.
I was just about to say we need a sprinter, so I was gonna go with like a guy like Jimmy Casper, but I have not seen him in a long time, so I
Because
don't.
he's retired.
Yeah, so who do you go with for it? Oh, Danielo Hondo, is he still racing?
He
No.
is retiring at the end of the year. You know what's funny about this is we are almost fully naming riders who are either currently on Trek Factory Racing or have been on Trek Factory Racing in the last couple
Yeah,
of years.
might as well pick
They
Venati
seem to
and
be a
then just-
retirement home.
And we haven't even mentioned the granddaddy of the retirement home for Trek Factory Racing.
Yes, but maybe we can just make a play to take over that team. I mean, it might just be easier to just get them all on the team and just maybe fire the young people
That could
under
be good.
35, other than Andy. And then
So-
Sorry,
just go from
Matty
there.
Bush, you're out of a job.
So what kind of
Yeah. Too much hope.
what kind of team car are you thinking for this washed up team? I mean, you can't have a new car. Like you can't go the way that's like Sky has their new Jaguar that's going to be following their team
Yeah.
leaders.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
going to
yeah.
be horrible for a mechanic trying to jump out of that thing.
Yeah, that looks so good though. I don't know.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
Like
this
a
is easy.
Saab?
This is
Like-
easy. You need a Pontiac.
what?
What-
You
why
need a
would you want-
Pontiac, and it's
Yeah,
gotta be the Aztec.
Ooh, the Pontiac Aztec.
it's got to be an Aztec. Yeah.
Oh,
an
well, look
Aztec
at it
is
with-
good.
It could hold a whole lot of stuff, and it would be
Yeah.
the most difficult to get anything out of.
It
And,
would be a pain.
and when they need to pull over to the side of the road to take a medical treatment, they have a tent that attaches
Yeah.
to the back of the car.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure that's where the riders will be sleeping on this team. It's not, the budget is slim.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Well, I kind of liking this team.
I think we can get. You think we can pull Richard Virenque out of his commentary
Oh.
job to kind of run the team?
God, I
So,
hope so, because that
I
would
do
really
wanna-
add some credibility to the team.
Yeah.
Can we mention that I think Virenque should
Levi's
be
looking for a
out
job
of a
too.
job?
I do want to talk about the commentary that you've brought it up. I know we've mentioned it, but who's the gentleman that does the talking on Eurosport? The play-by-play guy?
Carlton Kirby or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever his name is. He's amazing.
He's good.
He's so good. His sprint is great. His sprint call is fantastic. He knows the riders. It's a great conversation with Sean Kelly. I really enjoy those guys, and they need full credit. Due. And anybody that's watching the NBC Sports Network coverage versus the Eurosport, you are missing out. Now, it's nice having broadcast television, and I watch it every night because I like listening to Christian Van de Velde give his expert commentary, and same with Bob Roll. But that Eurosport coverage during the day for when it's live is entertaining, and I think it's pretty good.
It is really good. I think on the flip side of that, guys like Virenque who are commentating for French TV should be, get their kneecaps busted and kicked to the curb because he's a useless guy.
Yeah.
Is he pretty bad? I do like that NBC.
No, I don't actually
Well,
know how
he
his
just
commentary
shouldn't-
is,
Yeah.
but he just should be gone. I just every time he's mentioned, like he's mentioned in all these articles on Cycling News in the last few days, like Richard Virenque and commenting on the French climbers and them coming back now. It's like I mean, really, could there be a worse person to talk to about a new generation coming up? He's like, yes, that's right. I ruined an entire generation by cheating a lot and lying and crying on TV. You know?
But yet I still have a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. I'm
Him and
wondering.
Jacques.
Do you have anything else to add, guys?
No, I don't know. I just think all of these unremorseful jerks should go away.
That would be an interesting.
Yeah.
tour
If we
concept.
could get them all out of the way, then little guys, heartthrob would be the 8-time winner of the tour. Christophe
Gadrin?
Moreau.
Oh,
Christophe Moreau.
Who I'm sure was
Christophe
dirty as the rest of them.
So
no.
I guess. All right. Well,
Little
little guy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you just don't believe. And
Yeah,
you
I
don't
know.
believe in miracles.
I know. I don't believe in miracles.
And with that, we have come to an end on the 18th episode of the Slow Ride Podcast. I'd like to thank everyone for listening. 298 downloads last week. Thanks to each and every one of you. And you can always check our website, theslowridepodcast.com, where we have all the links and features about what we talked today. Also, follow us on iTunes or Stitcher. Leave a review. It helps our ranking. And maybe someday we will become rich and famous.
And I know I am in trouble. You are so dangerous. You blow my mind. I never thought it'd be so good. You are so dangerous. You blow my mind. And I know I am in trouble. You are so dangerous. You blow my mind. I never thought it'd be so good. You are so dangerous. You blow my mind, and I know I am in trouble. You are so dangerous. You blow my mind. I never thought it'd be so good. You are so dangerous. You blow my mind, and I know I am in trouble. You are so dangerous. You blow my mind. I never thought it'd be so good. You are so dangerous.